Hello, I'm Hakan Enver, Operations Director here at Morgan McKinley. Welcome to our first video update of the London Employment Monitor for Q1 of 2016. In a quarter that culminated in poor macro figures, news of redundancies, banks closing a number of unprofitable business lines, and the tragic global events at the hands of terrorists in a number of countries, it is not surprising that numbers were down quarter on quarter for both jobs available as well as candidates searching for alternative employment. Despite coming into the new year of 2015 in an extremely positive mood, particularly with the FTSE hitting a record high of 6,949.63 points on the 24th of February, as well as a renewed hopes at the time for a solution to the Greek debt crisis, this year proved to be a complete contrast. Not only did the oversupply of oil and concerns over a global slowdown kick in, but the problems facing China began impacting the rest of the world. These combined saw £113 billion being wiped off the FTSE in just 10 days, making it the worst ever start to the new year for the index. The first quarter is traditionally strong with new job volumes, but 2016 proved to buck that trend. During this year, there were 3 months of back-to-back falls in job volumes. In March alone, the number of available jobs decreased from 8,325 in February to 7,215 in March, a decrease of 21%. Whilst this time last year, the UK faced uncertainty with the lead up to the general elections, another referendum is pending, which is already having some impact in hiring decisions by UK businesses. The challenge that exists with the in or out vote is the level of uncertainty that exists depending on what decision is taken with the UK and its membership to the European Union. There are many who argue that the UK is better off in the EU, many that argue against, and still just as many undecided. Jane Dimon, Chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, warned that the bank would scale back in London to transfer business units elsewhere, citing a fear that UK-based banks would no longer be able to sell services within the EU. A PwC report also suggested that Brexit could cost 950,000 jobs and a £1 billion sterling hole in the UK economy. For some time now, compliance skills have been highly sought after due to regulatory scrutiny and banks having to shore up their compliance departments to satisfy the demands of various authorities. More recently, however, this frantic level of hiring that has been witnessed over the last 2 years has finally settled. This isn't suggesting that the demand is no longer there, but just there isn't the urgency to bring on talented staff immediately. Whilst critical hires are still being made, there has actually, for the first time in a long time, been a small wave of cuts being made to some London-based compliance departments. Other areas that are continuing to show high levels of growth are within project and change management and technology. There has been a requirement for permanent hiring within project and change management, which has seen high demand in strategic programs concerned with rationalising systems infrastructure and delivering high-quality data reporting capabilities. This is with a view to upcoming regulatory requirements. Similarly, companies are hiring specialists whose functions are related to improving processes, streamlining businesses, structural reforms, data capture and cost-cutting. So technologists have been in and continue to be in high demand. This is particularly the case in the fields of big data, software engineering and fintech. This is a long-term trend and one that can provide handsome compensation packages if professionals hold the right skill set. Finally, salaries have steadily increased over the last 2 years, particularly in regulatory-driven areas where base salaries have been inflated. This is due to the demand of certain skill sets outweighing their availability. This has been further exacerbated by many organisations having to compete with one another for the best talent and the most skilled candidates often finding themselves having a choice of multiple offers. Morgan McKinley's London Employment Monitor measures the average salary change of those moving institutions each month. During Q1 of 2016, you could earn a 21% increase from moving from one business to another. This is slightly up from Q1 of last year, where the average increase was 19%. Optimism in the UK continues to be cautious as macroeconomic factors continue to affect decision-making for many organisations. The broad economic forecast for global growth is continuing to indicate that 2016 will be a bumpy ride, particularly with the risk of economic instability and job losses in financial services. I look forward to meeting you next time where I'll once again provide a summary of hiring trends within London's banking and financial services sector. But this time for Q2, I will also be able to provide an update of the planned vote, by which stage we will have determined the future of the UK and its membership within the European Union. Thank you.